Thinking is a luxury. That is what I think. I love being here, just allowing my mind, which is a fact, to stimulate my imagination, fiction. I'm very grateful for the privilege of having access to this venue, a garden where I'm not disturbed and I'm free to just think. This place is called the Norfolk Botanical Garden in Norfolk, Virginia. Today I was thinking about sharing information publicly, as in news magazines, internet, TV, and privately as in friendly discussions with friends and neighbors. The operative words here, of course, are sharing information and how we manipulate information to sway the uninformed. Preachers and politicians do this all the time, which does not mean, of course, that all politicians or all preachers are liars. You really have to be very careful about making snap judgments. Which brings up the subject of truth. What is truth? Unfortunately, in far too many instances, truth, I think, is the result of adding fiction to facts. In other words, you take a fact, you interject probability, and pass off your theory as truth. Here's an example I just made up. In the United States, there's a river known as the Colorado River. That's a fact. Under this river, in many spots, there are springs that lead to underground caves. That's a probability. In these caves are amazing cache of gold and other Native American artifacts, treasures that have been hidden for centuries. One such cave is called the Cueva de la Ria Ora. That's a total lie. I just made that up. Total fiction. But it does sound as if it could be true, doesn't it? That is my feeble attempt to manipulate your mind. Because there is no such thing, as far as I know, that is known as the Cave of the Red River. But with the skills of a good scribe, and with the right amount of imagination, one could be made to believe this so-called truth. You see what I mean? That is why I say, please, especially during this season of so-called political proliferation, think for yourself. Reach your own conclusions based on facts.